Welcome to I Finally Get It. This week we have Matt Cobb, founding member of the band Rouge Crew. Joining us in studio as always, Dustin Webb, our producer. I'm your host, Jeff Martin. Let's get it.
One thing, just being a part of the music scene is just clicked for me. Play into your crowd.
Yeah.
People love music, and whatever you're doing on stage, you have to tailor it to what they might want. Might be playing for different generations of people. So if you're playing at Hope Fest, for example, you're going to be playing for a lot of high schoolers that want to hear the latest hits. If you're playing for older couple's birthday party, they're going to want to hear stuff from the 70s and the 80s. So,
that's right. Yeah. They make sense. You got to give people what they want, huh?
Exactly. Yeah.
So what all genres do you guys play? Because I've heard you, and you guys are unbelievable. You're really good.
We've done everything from Frank Sinatra, anything from the 50s to today.
Wow.
Anything you might hear on, radio station like 102.1, 99.9.
Yeah.
We're going to play stuff like that. Pretty much anything from, the early 50s to now. It's just a big party. So we want to make sure we play a little bit of something that everybody's going to like.
So I want to hear about the origins of how you guys got started because, it's a pretty big band.
Yeah.
I mean, you got a lot of members. How did it all get off the ground?
So we started about 2019, just before COVID.
Yeah.
So we ended up getting together. It's a lot of different members now.
Mm-hmm.
That's something to note. People come and go, which is great. We stay very busy. So, playing 8-10 times a month can be pretty encumbersome. It's a part-time job for sure. But about 2019 rolls around, 2020. I form an LLC. I get the band together. A lot of us know each other from different outlets. Everybody's connected in some way. I graduated with a keyboard player, or he graduated a couple of years before me, but I graduated the same year as some of the guys that play in the horn section. They're from New Orleans. So, we've gone through a lot of different people over the years, but we landed at this lineup, the last about a year and a half. We've had this group together. A lead singer, she is Maggie Tozan. She actually played at Asbury Methodist Church with me. Jared Price, the other lead singer, he and I met playing in different bands, and we would kind of split a bill sort of thing. The keyboard player was a great friend of mine for last 13 years. We were both in Lafayette High band together. Those are the closest kind of people I'm connected to.
Did you grow up wanting to be in a band?
I did. Actually, 2009, I was in a group with some friends. Sam, our keyboard player, he was a part of it. Called ourselves Paper Chain People. And we were like a ska, rock band. We did a lot of covers, did a couple originals, and we just kind of played for fun, and that's just what we wanted to do. We played a lot in town and developed a little following for ourselves. But it wasn't until, later on that I didn't really have a hard set plan. Graduated from UL in 2017, and I was teaching private music lessons, which I still do, playing a couple gigs here and there with a lot of other bands. I thought maybe I could do this like on my own. And, a lot of it's talking to people and getting to know people over the phone, knowing what they want for their event. So I kind of just put two and two together and got it off the ground. I'm lucky I have a really good group of people that, follow my lead.
Yeah. And it's not only good musicians, which you guys are, everybody is. And it's good people, though, to team up with you. And like you said, follow your lead. If you make a suggestion, I'm sure you're open to everybody making a suggestion, right?
Yeah, and some things we do, they happen on stage. They don't happen like in the lab, like practicing or anything. We just, we do a lot of moving dance moves. I mean, I'll sit back there and behind the drum set, and they'll do something they've never done before. I'm just laughing, just coming up with stuff on the spot. Knowing that those 8 people I work with on stage, they not only perform as musicians, but they know that what our job is to really show up and entertain, whether that's making people out there laugh or get on the dance floor. We make sure it's a fun show, fun memories. So.
Yeah, exactly. You see the business side of this deal, and I'm looking that you got to somehow split this thing 9 ways or more maybe. Mm-hmm. When you started off to find your niche and like what venues are we going to play? What are we going to do? How are we going to charge this thing? because you got to turn a profit, right? How hard is that? I mean, do you have to say no to gigs that you just know they can't pay and get a different size venue or whatever it might be?
Yeah, it depends between public and private events. Mm-hmm. Public events, almost always you're just playing for the door, which is pretty common. You play for, however many people come in is you're playing for some percentage of that.
I didn't know that. I mean, I kind of knew it, but.
Mm-hmm. And I don't think it's really a big secret, I mean, it's very common. There's probably other deals, which we don't really sell physical hard tickets or anything, but we do online sales when we play at Rock and Roll and things like that, which is our biggest public gig.
Gotcha.
We play at Rock and Roll Lafayette and even in Rock and Roll New Orleans, especially when it comes to private events. In the beginning we were doing stuff for reduced rates just to get our name out.
Yeah, and you probably had to do that for a while.
Yeah, and we found success in that and slowly brought our price up and up to what was ideal. More recently, over the last probably year or two, we're not that old, 4 years old, mm-hmm. but over the last year or so, you do have to turn some things down, unfortunately.
Yeah, sure.
You mentioned splitting it 9 ways. We actually have a audio company as well, Maison Fu. That's our guitar player's company, but he has to bring people along, 3-4 people sometimes, to help us load equipment in. I mean, it takes about an hour and a half, 2 hours to set up, and a good hour
I can only imagine,
to tear down. So it does that does affect the bottom dollar, the decision of whether or not we'll be able to make it happen. Traveling, we got asked to go to New York recently. It's just hard. That's a 2-day trip, minimum 2 nights if you're flying out there. And
you going?
I don't know yet. We got to get like 11. We got to get 11 people there.
Okay.
And,
yeah, you're right.
And then you want to come? Yeah.
All right, I'll load up stuff too.
But it's I mean, that does affect our price is determinant on.
Yeah, sure. It's just the business side of it, We just had a guy, Hunter DeBlanc, who's
I know Hunter,
professional piano player. He was on, and it was a little bit about the business of it. But here's what I'm interested about you. Sure. You were in several bands, and everybody who is in Rouge Crew today was in other bands, and they found their way. What's like the secret formula that, because you guys have clicked, and no kidding, I'm not saying this just for the show. You're really, really good. So what was the secret? I
don't want to toot my own horn too much, but I really invest in my people a lot. I find that I pay a little more than the average, I guess, nightly rate for a musician. I love what they can offer, but in return, people stick around and people invest in the show. And, I invest in them as musicians, but also just as people with their ideas. And, some people are scared of the 9-person band. There's so many cooks in the kitchen.
Yeah.
But if you can kind of come up with a good plan of, hey, this is how we want to perform our show. This is how we want to design our show, which I guess I can mention that goes along with, we have like a mashup medley style show where we play instead of playing a whole 5-minute, 4-minute song, we do the important parts, like verse and then a big chorus kind of thing. And then we move on to the next song. So we have this style, and a lot of bands that do what we do the same as well. We do a lot of this kind of keeping it flowing. Mm-hmm. So instead of just playing maybe, 80 songs a night, we can play 120.
Play parts of 100. Yeah.
Yeah. We really keep it flowing, almost like a live DJ. And so that whole framework, people in the band, they just back it, and then they start to come up with ideas. What if we go into this song? And what if we go into that song? So that really helps out.
Yeah.
That really helps me out a lot, just having, that mindset. And people really, I think, I didn't really think at first that, I thought this would be pretty natural and no one will really in the crowd will notice, but people will come up and say, wow, I like how y'all don't stop playing. You go from song to song.
That's really cool.
And I think that's a big selling point, is what we keep it moving. We keep it fresh, but the band members, they add a lot to that.
Yeah. And what I love, I got a little light bulb moment here. Oh, I get it. I finally get it. Here at Company Growth Academy, we've begun teaching 20-minute growth strategies. They're free, they're fast, and they're full of information to help you grow your company. For more information and to sign up for our advanced notification list, just go to 20togrow.com, 20togrow.com. Let's get it. I kind of equate your business with any business, right? But you as the leader, you have to listen to the team, and they're providing input. You're making decision and saying, yeah, let's go for that and try it out. And so you're finding your way. I'm fascinated with the business side of things like you do. What's been the hardest part on the business side?
Early on, it was kind of tough, especially moving through COVID, because that first year it's not just present day. You have to think, 6 months to a year in advance, and we don't have a lot of stuff going on. We were playing for neighborhood block parties outside in driveways through the summer. And I mean, it was a great thing,
That's a great, wonderful thing.
I think, with the state of the world at that time, people liked having just a little fun.
Yeah, just get out of the house and be entertained.
Yeah, so we played for like neighborhood block parties and just did what we could. And that was tough getting it off the ground, in that first year. I didn't have like any investments, I know a lot of people will save up their own money and then boom, they'll pump it all into their business. I just didn't have that. So what I did was for the first 2 years I just kept investing my cut as a musician, as the drummer, back into buying lights. And we actually offer photo booths and a little something extra outside of just the music. I started just pumping that back into the business. And that was my way of kind of growing it and getting it off the ground. That was definitely the hardest part early on in the beginning. In general, I would say mediating and navigating between like the client and the band. We're very flexible with what the client wants. So for example, they can even go through our set lists and they can check off things they don't want. Hey, we don't like this song, we don't like that song. So they design the show night to night.
That's a big differentiator. That's great.
But just sometimes hard to mediate, whether it's like mostly on the spot. Like you're up on stage, and we don't really have a hard set list where we kind of go boom, song to song, and we write it out, the day before. We kind of just have a list and we look, okay, we're going to this song next. And, we bounce to that.
Y'all communicate that on stage?
Yes. I have a microphone. So I have like a vocal mic here that I sing into, but then I have a microphone here that I can talk to everybody.
And it's in an earpiece.
Just in their ears. Yeah.
Holy, that's behind the scenes stuff right there.
Yeah. So I'm sure people are up there wondering like, why does he have 2 microphones?
And who's he talking to?
yeah. But and I cut a couple jokes here and there.
Yeah. That's great.
But that can get kind of difficult just because we definitely want to do what we do 80% weddings, I would say.
Is that right? I was going to ask you that.
Yeah, big wedding industry in New Orleans and even in Lafayette and Baton Rouge. So we do a lot of weddings. Just being able to do as much as we can to offer the client the most customizable thing we can, while also keeping everybody happy, making sure it's not too much workload on us. Because we do learn new songs if there's not songs listed. Right now it's like 5. So if they have a lot of the first dances and things like that, we want the band to play that live. And so just that mediation, that's another aspect that can be kind of difficult, is just making sure everybody's happy.
Yeah, but that's the name of the game, in any business. I just love hearing about this stuff because, if you're not in the business, you just don't know it. What's been your favorite part of starting Rouge Crew?
I think my favorite part was just being able to, and I never even thought about it, but just being able to, one, do what I love for a living, but also see others do what they love, especially in Lafayette. Before starting all this, like right when I was graduating college, I really wanted to move to Nashville just because I wanted to do this full time. And I had a friend living out there who was like, man, you could gig every night and make it. And it's a big move. I have family in Cincinnati, so I thought maybe I'd be closer to them. But my wife's roots are down here. So I thought, I don't know if we can do this, but I wanted to. And then it all just kind of started to click.
So you guys do about 8 to 9 shows a month.
A month. Right now we're pretty slow just because of the summer months. Yeah.
But you travel, and we're like, I know you're talking about New York, but what's the farthest you typically travel?
The farthest I guess we kind of just have an unsaid rule where, 4 hours away, we typically drive, do the show, come home.
And you can come home that night.
That night, I mean, it's tough because it becomes about a 15, 16-hour day. We all take one van together. If we travel any further than that, we typically will get a hotel. So we've gone as far as Austin, Texas, San Antonio, Texas. We go to Alabama and things like that. The furthest we've been asked to go was New York, which, man, I wish it would have worked out. But, and I just got to be patient because I'm sure we'll get that opportunity. But someone asked us to go play for a corporate party in the Rainbow Room at the Rockefeller Center.
And I was just like, so cool.
And you never know who is going to give you that opportunity.
No doubt about it.
Specific client saw us in an Alexandria wedding at the Hotel Bentley.
That is crazy.
And they just... she said, I've been obsessed with your band ever since. And
oh my God.
I want you guys to come out. And I thought, there's no way, just COVID kind of crippled that plan. But just given that opportunity was cool enough for me. I mean, that also ties into one of my favorite parts about doing this, and also realizing that what we do, a lot of other people do. There's bands in New Orleans, Mixed Nuts, Bag of Donuts.
Those are great names.
There's a band in Dallas, which I don't know them personally, but Emerald City Band in Dallas. I love what they do. Yeah. And especially the guys in New Orleans are just really open to just talking and it's not a competition.
They're doing it for the right reasons.
There's so many just opportunities, and so many actually, I thought it would be the opposite starting this, like not enough gigs, too many bands, but it's quite the opposite. There's actually not enough groups to cover a lot of the things going on, even just in Lafayette. So I love it. I love that collaboration, asking people, what do you guys do? What do you guys do? And people approach me and say, hey, I like that mashup you guys did with these 3 songs. That's awesome. You guys should do it, so it's all about.
I really love from a sales perspective, I love the idea of differentiating yourselves and allowing the customer to kind of customize what they want.
Yeah.
It's a big deal.
Yeah.
In bands today, because y'all probably getting these rhythms and you want to play this song after that song and then these 4 in a row.
Exactly. Yeah. Sometimes you have to kind of break up your set list and, we do things on the fly too. That little microphone I have that we call the talkback mic, I'm able to kind of, go, all right, we're going to go to this song next, and I kind of,
and they just,
1, 2, 3,
they roll with the punches.
Boom, and I'm able to really lead it that way. And
okay, the next time I see you, I'm going to be watching that.
Yeah,
and I'll be fascinated with that.
Yeah, you read my lips trying to figure out what's coming next.
Yeah, exactly. I'm all about the business side of things. And what I love about you not taking that gig in New York, one day you might be built for that, but today you're just not built for that, right?
Yeah.
But the fact that you know it is where discipline comes in, and you're not going to break the bank. And you have to be a professional, and you got to make money and keep entertaining.
Yeah.
If you didn't make money, you wouldn't be entertaining.
Anyone could really crunch it down. You have to get people in a hotel.
Yep.
You have to fly people out.
Mm-hmm.
You have to bring a huge trailer of equipment, or you have to rent what we call backline. You have to get a company in New York to rent you a drum set, speakers.
Got it.
So it's a whole nother level of when you're going that far,
Yeah, that's really
cool.
Work. So most of your stuff is cover work. You're just covering other bands
exclusively. Yeah, we don't really do any original music.
Weddings, they want what they know. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And so again, that's what you're built for. So you're a professional and you're playing that.
Yeah.
So what's the future? Because I also heard, this is fascinating, you not only provide the entertainment, but there's some adjacent markets that you're bringing, like the photo booth. Right?
Yeah.
What other opportunities are there for like weddings and stuff?
So a couple things, and I gave Dustin some cards, but so Rouge Crew is
hey.
Rouge Crew is, the first band I formed. Parade Route Party Band is actually just another Rouge Crew with 9 different musicians in the same blueprint. So myself and Jared, the lead singer from Rouge Crew, we booked that band. I also laid down the framework for that band, the LLC. So there's 2 bands. And the other thing we started to offer, we do add-ons with like the photo booth and things like that. And
so smart.
We bring the photo booth along with us. It's all like sharing, based. We do offer prints, but then I have to bring another person along. And with that, I started to get a couple inquiries outside of just the band, like, hey, we want a photo booth for this date. And I started to have to turn that down at first. Yeah, we only offer it if we're there. I thought, I need to come up with another plan for that, which I started a DBA. It's not a whole separate thing, but it's called Rouge Booth.
Oh, nice.
I haven't really got it off the ground, but Rouge Booth is another endeavor. And then aside from the bands and the photo booth, the guitar player, his name's Chad Fuquay. He owns Maison Fu, which I mentioned earlier is our audiovisual team.
Yeah, correct.
We started a video wall rental business called Voodoo Visuals. So the band also uses a wall. It's just a big LED video wall that we haven't really offered it to brides yet, but that's our next step.
Yeah.
But we've brought it to corporate events and Downtown Alive and things like that have used it. So
that is great.
We use it for visuals, like it's an aspect of the show. Like basically, it's bright. It's like a giant light, like a big TV, basically. But the wall is also used for sponsoring kind of stuff. So maybe during the show, the band's got their logo and some flashy things up there, and then on the downtime, they're putting sponsors' names and stuff.
So let's say if a young guy out there wants to start a band, what's a business tip you would give him?
Just surround yourself with people that really support you and give them a good plan. Like convince them that, hey, in a year, we're going to be doing this, this, and this, whatever it is that you want to pull off, this, and this, and give them a good roadmap of how to get there, and take their advice, let people lead a little bit. And that would be my biggest tip there. And
yeah, that's very good. You could be a business coach with me.
Come on.
It really is good. You deal with so many people, the audiences, the people that you work in the band with, your musicians, and even the customers. What's important to you when you engage with somebody and you want to leave them feeling better because they met you than before? I
do kind of, and you mentioned it earlier, have that mindset of the customer's always right, in a healthy sense, that I want people to feel like they're connected to what they're buying into.
Yeah.
I want people to, if you were talking about crowd members and things like that, we could do, long story short, big jerseys, like baseball jerseys, and we kind of wear that for public shows. We give them away, and we want people to feel.
Really?
Yeah, we sell them, but we also throw one out once a month usually when we play, and we want people to feel that connection. They can get a customized jersey with their name and whatever number they want on the back. So we do that.
That's another market that you have there.
Yeah,
that's huge.
Yeah, a little merchandising. We really do our best to make people feel like they're involved, whether it's, and even this happens more at private events, but even public events, we'll go out into the crowd. We're all wireless, so we can walk out with our instruments and still play on the dance floor, and that sense of involvement, we get out there and we dance with people while we're playing,
That is great.
There's a couple songs where I'm the only one on stage, and we keep people involved in that way and give them the microphone, let them sing lead on a song. A couple things, we're working on too is offering like karaoke hour.
Oh,
so
wow.
The band will play live karaoke.
No way. And you can come up there and sing with the band.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
That's one endeavor that we're working on. And just keeping that stage can kind of be a mental barrier for people, but also a physical barrier. And we try to break that. We want people to feel like, oh, we're part of this.
Thanks so much for tuning in to I Finally Get It. For more information on Matt and Rouge Crew and the other bands he has, please visit our show notes. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode. At Company Growth Academy, we just started teaching 20-minute growth strategies every single month. You can get on an advanced notification list by going to 20togrow.com. If you're a business owner or entrepreneur and you have a light bulb moment that will help other business owners, please reach out to me at jeff@ifinallygetit.com.